So, Happy New Year and Happy New Year, Chinese New Year as well. So, it's the first official event of 2011. And it worked out conveniently on my way to India to be able to stop here to do these events. So, once again, we have the opportunity to listen just for a little while, clear some cobwebs, bring some light into the dark, dark room, because this is about living this life. It's not a concept of living this life, but living this life in reality. And so the way I'd like to begin today is that you all know what a container is. A box, a container. And as the name implies, it contains something. So, what do all containers contain? Well, they contain actually the same stuff that is on the outside as it is on the inside. Because before you actually place something in that container, we call that it's empty. But it's not empty. By no stretch of the imagination is it empty. It actually has all that is on the outside, it has it on the inside as well. But all it does, those four walls, the top, the bottom, it defines the space. Defines. It's a definition. And so the question becomes, in this life, are you inside a container? Something that defines your space? And the answer is yes. In fact, you're not just in one container. There is another container and another container and another container and another container. You know, those Russian dolls, there's the big doll and then there's a little doll inside and 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 there's a smaller doll inside. That's you. So you have one container, one definition, and this definition is the definition that you're only here for so long. You're defined by time. This is one box. Box number one. And this is the ultimate box because all the other boxes have to go inside this box. This box cannot reside in another box. That's it. That's your ultimate box. And in this definition of time, that's everything. All the other boxes are in it. Your goods, your bads, your rights, your wrongs, your sorrows, your joys, your likes, your dislikes, your everything. Everything that you hold dear in your life. Everything that's precious to you. Good, bad, right, wrong. All is inside this box. Now, don't you find it fascinating that it's a box, that it's a container, and in this container is contained all those elements. Everything. One day, the box will no more be. There will be no definition for you. And then what do you think will happen to sorrow? And what do you think will happen to joy? And what do you think will happen to all the things you like? Because you see, Sorrow isn't a thing floating around like a gob in the space that comes and descends on you, and all of a sudden you feel sorrow. Sorrow is but just your perception. Fear is just your concept. How you perceive something. If you are afraid of snakes, and you say, well, you know what? I'm going to go to the holiest place in the world, because there I will not be afraid. But that holy place does have cobras. There is one place where there's all this bamboo that grows, and so it's kind of dark, quiet, humid place, cool, and big cobras hang out there. So here you are in the holiest place, and here comes the cobra. Will you be afraid? I think so. Because everybody else at the holy place is. They all run. Why? I thought you were in this holy place. Then, if another cobra sees another cobra, is he afraid? Hey, who are you? Hello! If the mother cobra sees her baby cobra, hey, good to see you again. Where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. Perception. Perception. A lot of women don't like mice, rats. They see one, Just a concept. Some people don't like cockroaches. See a cockroach, it's like, Perception. There isn't really an atom out there that's an anti-cockroach atom, or an anti-snake atom, or something that comes and lands on you and makes you afraid. No, this is just your perceptions. So, perceptions change. When you were young, were you afraid of a cockroach? Absolutely not. It's only when you heard your mother screaming, you said, oh my God, I should be afraid of that. Perceptions. I know this. Came back from India via Barcelona, had the event in Barcelona, came back and was at home and got to spend some time with my grandson, Jeevan. I celebrated his first year birthday. And I see him, and every day he changes. Every day there's something going on. He loves water. And just outside my office, there's a little area where we have some koi pond. And wherever he is, he makes a beeline for it. He just runs. He can walk now, and so when he has to get there really quickly, he'll crawl. When he feels like he can make it there and there's no time constraint, he will walk. But he can crawl really fast, and there he goes, zoop, right for it. And what does he want to do? He wants to jump in. He does not know he shouldn't do that. Mommy does. He doesn't. He doesn't. And he's just getting to the point where he gets frustrated. So if he wants to go in and he's being restrained, and I don't know where he learned this from, but he can slap. And he is very heavy to hold. I mean, he's just a big boy. And when he slaps, it can be pretty good. Boom. He's got big, chubby hands. But he's learning. And all this is that he's going to learn. He's going to keep on learning. He's going to keep on learning. This is just the start. There's many things he's going to learn. Many, 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 many. On his first birthday was the first time he had a cake, a cupcake. Till this time, his mommy had been feeding him fruit and all of this. The first birthday, he has this thing, and he's like, wow, this is good. Sugar. First time he has a taste of real sugar. This is good. Next thing you know, he just wanted to eat everything. No sharing. No, the idea of sharing has not come yet. Isn't it good nature to share? Isn't it? Isn't that how you are taught? But do you know that that's a learned behavior? It is not natural. Babies don't want to share, they don't want to share. This is what we are taught. This is how you become good. And it is good to be good. So, good to be good is taught. And then, how to be good is taught. And sharing is taught. Does he have a concept of stealing? Absolutely not. Everything is his. Can he steal anything? Absolutely no way. Because the whole world belongs to him. That's it. But he will learn that it doesn't. And he will have to learn that. And he will learn that 1 + 1 is 2. And he will learn that 1 multiplied by 1 still remains a 1. And he will learn that 1 subtracted from a 1 is nothing. And then nothing added to the end of something becomes so much more. And nothing added to the beginning of something means nothing. He will learn all these things. He will learn how a bird flies. He will never be able to learn why a bird flies, but he will learn how a bird flies. And in this container, just as you are, your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, all of these things will be, and you will live with them. And some you won't like, and some you will, and some you will try to change, but you will not succeed, and some of you will change. And these are the things you will learn to live with. Then one day, the container will come undone. And when the container comes undone, all these things you have learned will just vanish in thin air, be gone. The things that make you sad will simply evaporate. The things that brought you smiles will simply evaporate. The things you thought were important, be gone. And your whole life Your whole life you would have spent cataloging these things, repeating these things, creating space for these things to be repeated again and again. Oof, what a drama, huh? What a drama. All inside this container. And I know that this drama takes place inside each one of these containers. Every one of you. I know this, and you know this. Looking at me, you also know that this is in a container, and all these dramas take place in here. You know the presence of these dramas, you just don't know what they actually look like. Only I do. Only I do. I know that these dramas exist inside of you. I just don't know what they look like. So, my friends, the question is, the doll in the doll, in the doll, in the doll, in the doll, in the doll. Which one is the real doll? Is it the biggest one? And I hope you have seen these dolls. Because the last doll cannot be opened up. That's it. However, it is the smallest, tiniest. Obviously, the biggest amount of work has gone into the first doll. Starting from the outside, it's the biggest. So more paint has gone into it, more painting has gone into it. And the one that is in the heart of it is the tiniest one. Least amount of paint, least amount of wood, least amount of everything. So which one is the real doll? One thing you learned in your life, bigger is better. Bigger is more significant. Bigger is more significant. Till you came to knowledge. And then something else was presented to you that not necessarily. That the biggest blessing you have is perhaps the tiniest thing happening, and it is called a breath. So common, so abundant, so small, so weightless, or at least very little weight, and it is the breath that comes into you. The other day, I was driving by a field, and some construction must have been going on because there was all these construction equipment there, the bulldozers and the backhoes, and that was to dig the earth. And then I saw on the construction site a little plant. Couldn't have been more than that. Do you know it did the same thing as the bulldozer? From a seed, it sprouted and it pushed aside the earth. Now, you might say, well, but the plant only pushed aside very little, and the bulldozer moves a lot more. True, but proportionally? Because the bulldozer is so much bigger. Hydraulics and a big 4-cylinder diesel engine and this and that, and sometimes turbocharged to boot. This little thing, when it is the tiniest, because it's not going to be this tiny forever, no, but when it is the tiniest, the smallest, the most fragile, the most weak, it has to push. And it does. Amazing strength coming from something so little. How big is an understanding? How big do you think an understanding is? In my opinion, generally speaking, it takes a fraction of a second to get the understanding. Somebody, these days, everybody SMSs everybody. Message. Horrible. It's just like giving monkey something. But why are you laughing? You are monkey race. Your ancestors were monkeys, so it's just like giving monkey something, So you've been texting your friend, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. No answer. Now, misunderstanding never takes a fraction of a second. It takes a little while. So misunderstanding. Why is she not answering? Why is he not answering? What's wrong with them? Maybe they hate me. What do I have? And everything. Yak. Then you see the person. How come you haven't been answering me? What's wrong with you? I lost my phone. Bing! Finished. What I didn't know, now I do. And what I didn't know, and what it was doing to me, I didn't know. But now I do. And all that it was being done to me, anguish, fear, anger, an understanding happened, and it was gone. This is what and how it is. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing on this earth. What is the purpose? How can this be? How can this be? I get up every morning, I do the same thing. I get up every morning, I do the same thing. I get up every morning, I do the same thing. This is life. A fear. What will today bring? And what is my prayer? What do you think people pray the most? What people pray the most is what they fear. It's the opposite of what they fear. So what they fear is failure. And so what do they pray for? Bring me success. Bring me prosperity, because they despise being poor. To bring me money. You pray. You pray to make the day successful because you despise failure. Despise failure. You don't want to fail. You pray for peace, but you don't know what it is, but you pray for it anyways. Because one of the things you were taught a long time ago is peace is good. So you said, oh, peace, I'll pray for peace. So which one is it? Are you strong? Are you weak? Are you strong? Are you weak? You pray, and 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 you pray. It gets down to the point. You pray for one more day. One more day. One more breath. One more minute. One more second. Then you get to the point where you don't even have the strength to pray for one more second. And the container falls apart. The Hansa. That culmination of the blessing, that power that keeps you alive, vanishes. And Kabir says, then when the Hansa has left the cage, empty remains the frame. Seen a painting? Oh, it's amazing. When you have a painting, when you have a picture, I mean, a really beautiful picture. I like to take pictures. And they are gallery quality, very, very high definition pictures. It is incredibly important for the artist that the right frame be chosen for his picture or her picture. And it's a real trip to go to the shop where they do the framing because, my goodness, they have so many frames. Black and blue and green and yellow and gold and big and thick and da-da-da-da-da. Thousands you look in the matting and this and that and everything else to decide what will look good with the picture, but without the picture, all of the matting and all of the frame is meaningless. I know, some doctors. So I asked them, I said, so, quite a few people sick these days? Because, to a businessman you ask, is the business going well? To a doctor, the business only goes well when there's a lot of sick people. Because in a perfect world, if everybody was perfectly healthy, the doctors would have another job. They would be mowing the golf club instead of playing at the golf club, mowing the grass at the golf club. So, little things. Then one day you come across knowledge, and what does the master say? The thing that you're looking for is inside of you. He's talking about that last doll. You go to other gurus, what do they say? Let's make another doll. Another shell. Another shell of concept shall do well. Let's give you another concept you can go around and around in circles in. And the master, the true master says, open that one doll, get to that one doll that cannot be opened up anymore. It's the end. And there you will find. Because in reality, all these other dolls on the outside are just manifestations of that one doll that is at the heart of it. All the other dolls want to look like the doll that is there. The little doll doesn't have to look like the rest of the dolls. But there is that doll. The true you. True you is not this container. The true you is not the sum of your fears, your sadness, or indeed the joys. Changing, what you do not want to change is such an illusion. It's such an illusion. It's such a trap. Change, 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 change. Is this change okay? But it's okay. Those changes within the certain realm are okay. We have accepted those changes. Then those changes that we have not yet accepted, they are the ones that are the harbingers of sorrow. But there is no atom called sorrow. Here is your sorrow. Here is your joy. Next time you have a big sorrow, just say, well, it can't be any bigger than this. This is where it is. But in the real doll, there is immeasurable peace. What is peace? What is peace? People think fulfillment of their desire is peace. There's a country that's kind of fighting a whole bunch of different countries, and somebody was saying, when will the peace come to that country? I said, but they're not looking for peace, that's why it's not going to come. They're looking for an end result. This country is looking for an end result. And if the end result doesn't happen, peace isn't coming. Because is end result peace in your life? When neighbors stop complaining, when my children do what I tell them to do, when my husband does everything right, which is not possible. When your wife can read your mind, which is not possible. When, then there will be peace. If that's your peace, why are you calling it peace? This is your wish list. You need Santa Claus. That's your wish list. Then I will be in peace. So in our lives, all this change, all of this stuff, all of these ideas, all of this happening. And the Master says, one thing unchangeable, the source of your joy, true joy. Get it. Get it before the container falls apart. Because it's going to. And you say, no. I don't have the time to practice knowledge. Time is definitely a problem, but the other way. Because the Master is saying, do it before the time makes the container fall apart. Do it. Do it. Go inside and experience. And some people go, I don't feel anything. Then I say to them, don't do it. And they go, no. It brings me joy, it brings me stillness, it brings me peace. And I wish I had a tape recorder that I could play that back. What are you looking for? A monkey is going to come out of you and do a dance for you? Everything else starts to fall apart. And the only thing that's remaining, the simple, sweet reality of your heart, of this expression. That's it. When you connect with that, when that becomes apparent, now steps in the value of knowledge. All day long, you've been running around like a lunatic. All day long, this has been running Mach 5. Mach 5 would be 5 times the speed of sound, right? Going from America to South America to Australia, back to Malaysia in about less than a second. Impending issues nagging you, of course. Uncertainties nagging you, of course. Good times, bad times, of course. And then you sit down. Just sit down for 1 hour out of 24, 1 hour, and you're gone. Come out of knowledge. Reset. Yes. Did it feel timeless? Yes. Could you tell the difference between this and this? Yes. I mean, you could actually hear the dogs barking, which you couldn't before. You and the dogs were one. And you say, well, 1 hour, just 1 hour, and everything is changed. or the Australians would say, pretty bloody good. There's nothing like that. Nothing. That's knowledge. Practice 1 hour and you will save 23. Saved. Good economics. Very good efficiency. Very, very, very good efficiency. When 1 hour could only save 1 hour, that would be okay, pretty good. 1 to 1. This is 1 to 23. Very good odds. Very good efficiency. Then this is why you should practice. Is there more? Of course there's more. The more you practice, there is more. There is no limit to the possibility that knowledge presents. The real doll. The real doll. The real doll. The real doll. Only this big, but it's the real doll. No more dolls inside. It's it. So the container, inside a container, inside a container, inside a container, inside a container. Which container are you stuck on? Which? 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 Outside one, it's going to go. Second one, when the outside one goes, it'll go. Maybe there's people, and their whole lifetime work and dedication is to look good. They don't want to look old. They don't want to look old. They don't. Today coming here, I saw these people. They're two little kids, they were running. I don't know this area, so I see them running, and I'm just like, I wonder why they're running. So I see people in front of them, they're running too. And it's like, why are they running? And I look a little further down, and I see more people running. Then I realized they were on a track. Health nuts, jogging, running. And I remember in India, people run too, behind the bus. Running. The poor people don't have the luxury to go somewhere and run. They have to run after everything. And they run a lot. Do they have a long life? No, they don't. They're sucking in all that diesel fume from the bus as they run behind it. Everybody is after chasing something. People who want more name, bigger fame are still chasing. People chase religion. People chase beliefs. People chase ideas. If we build a temple here, God will be appeased. Lately, one of the things I've started to do is talk on the camera. And so it's just, when you see me, I'm not talking to an audience, I'm actually talking to the camera. And somebody has given it a name, DTC, direct to camera. Because the idea is that eventually, at some point in time, if enough of that material was accrued, there could be an event happening every week every week you would see it on either the whatever the means would be, the web or whatever. But every week, and it doesn't matter where I am in the world and what language I'm speaking. You would get your English, and the Indians would get their Hindi, and things could get translated and translated properly, and then hopefully on WOPG TV, every week, something new, something new, something new. And one of the things, and we've been working at it, it's getting better and better and better. Good sound, very good audio, I mean, everything, very good, very, very good. And, just the power of seeing that person looking right at you when you're speaking is phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. But to me, so many people will be reached by this. So much personal message will be available for all of you. But the main thing is that coming up with ideas of what I can speak about so that it's thematic. And one simple thing. Here I see people running, trying to achieve something. I want to be healthy, I want to be ageless, I want to be this, I want to be that. But all these changes, I want to be famous, I want to achieve, I want to be this and I want to be that. The whole container is coming unglued. It's coming unglued. I want to look good as people's pastime. Pastime. So many possibilities. So many possibilities. But for you, the reality of knowledge. For you, the reality of being alive. You. Hold next time in your hand a grain of wheat. Have you ever held a grain of wheat in your hand and between your fingers? Ladies have. It's the most powerful thing. It has changed mankind. That little grain of wheat, millions have died for it. Do you know that? Do you know that? Millions. We used to roam around. This is what settled us down. 7,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, transformation began. It is the single thing that has given rise to cities. Now people didn't have to travel. They could settle down. They could have food. And you know where it comes from? Grass. That's what wheat is. It's a family of grass. That's what barley is. Grass. 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 What do you think sugarcane is? Grass. What do you think bamboo is? Grass. What do the rich people like in front of their houses? Grass. And if you have a dog, and the dog has to be taken to go to the bathroom, what does the dog prefer? Grass. And on a beautiful, beautiful day, you go to a nice park. Where do you like to lie down? On the grass. And to you, it seems like the most insignificant thing. Doesn't it? Grass. It's grass. And yet, It is indeed so powerful. Don't underestimate the experience of knowledge, of sitting down, because it seems trivial to you. Now, I know it doesn't seem trivial to everyone, but there are some people, who recently received knowledge, who are like, well, I don't know if I'm experiencing anything. You are. Believe me, you are. Just get this to stop yakking, and you will hear the gratitude, the appreciation, and indeed the very reason why you are here. We're only, like I said before, only a few thousand, 20,000 or so away from 1 million people receiving knowledge. Inching closer and closer, and of course when they do, well, we're going to have a big celebration. This year is also the 40th anniversary of me coming to the West, to England and America. 17th of June to London and 17th of July, exactly a month apart, to America. Also this year is the 45th anniversary of me becoming a master. So, rabbit or not, this looks like the year for celebration. But of course, every year is a year for celebration. Every year. So there would be, what? So there should be no celebration next year? No. Doesn't matter. You should always celebrate yourself. Always. Because the blessing is coming. Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't the blessing be celebrated? That's when this breath comes into you, my friend, it is the most important, auspicious occasion you can have. That's it. But that would be too much celebrating. Too much celebrating. Wouldn't it? Celebrate! Celebrate! By the way, that's exactly what Kabir wants you to do. Just celebrate, 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 dance, dance. Doesn't actually mention much about food or this or that, but just be in that zone, be in that place, completely blissed out. That's what he talks about. So it was wonderful to be able to speak to you. You guys get a lot of events. You and the Spanish, they get a lot of events. But anyways, practice this knowledge, enjoy yourself. Thank you.